Now, what if we thought about civic engagement through the lens of this quote? Someone is sitting in the shade today because somebody planted a tree a long time ago. What's up, everybody who is a thoughtful mind, a advocate for positive change, and you saw civic engagement and said, I want to know about this. Well, today we're going to be having a paradigm shift. We're going to be reimagining civic engagement, not just a means for immediate results or short term results, but as seeds to sow today for a more selfless and impactful future. Now, I say this because people often think of civic engagement as taking political action, and it is one of my greatest hearts, like compassion. It's like a burden of mine to actually introduce people to the concept that there is non-political ways of being civically engaged. Okay, and I want to show you that by the end of this video, you're going to see civic engagement through a new lens, one that transcends instant results and focuses on more nurturing, more of a legacy of selfless service that will last long after we're gone.
Listen, ShySpeaks, 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 ShySpeaks.
All right, so now recently I saw a video from a colleague of mine, a social media friend, if you will. Her name is Teslin Figaro, and she was doing her usual level of pressing, these politicians. She's always trying to press them to see, are they really about what they really about? Are they really getting something done? I actually want to show you the video, and that video helped me spark this thought that I'm having right now. That I want to I want to do a video to encourage people about different ways to be civically engaged that is non-political and also very, very, very unselfish. I'm going to share those ways here with you in just a moment. But let me first show you this video. It's kind of funny. Now, let me tell you this. Tesla and I, we've not met in person. We were on a panel together before. She likes me for the light that I bring, and I like her for the fire that she stirs up. So let's watch it. It's kind of funny.
Reverend Sharpton, hello, I'm Vivek, and I want to ask you, last week on the show we had Senator Kerry, and this week, and the week before we had Senator Edwards, and my question for you is, of all the Democratic candidates out there, why should I vote for the one with the least political experience?
I got involved in the political movement when I was 12 years old, and I've been involved in social policy for the last 30 years. So don't confuse people that have a job with political experience.
So when is it that you voted for the first time?
I voted in 2020.
Okay, so you're how old again?
I'm 37 years old.
So for how many years you sat around and did not get involved at all in any civic engagement? Is that my understanding?
A long time is the answer. And if you're only going to count government service, you're absolutely
No, not government
right.
service.
Okay.
I got involved in the political movement when I was 12 years old.
I'm not talking about government. I can go all the way back from the 5th grade every year, sir, because people who are in service to this country, if you're going to go around saying you want people to believe in this country that I signed up to die for, then I want to make sure that you're holding that same standard. So not government, not political. Let's not get it confused.
I got involved in the political movement when I was 12 years old. 12 years old. 12 years old.
This is the part where she played too much right here. Like, Tez.
They just couldn't believe that somebody would do all that running for no particular reason.
Why are you doing it?
I just felt like running. I just felt like running.
Okay, so now I don't know whether or not he just felt like running, but one of the things that was said in that, she said, how long, over 16 years of not voting. She didn't say 16 years of no civic engagement. And what he was probably about to try to say is if you're going to only count government service, if you only count people who work jobs in the government sector, then no. But maybe he was going to, maybe, I don't know, but she just... Tez play too much. Like, that's why I want y'all. It's kind of comical too, but she be serious. So she's very, very, very serious. But no, seriously, I wanted to address that because just because he hadn't voted in 16 years. Doesn't mean that he couldn't have been civically engaged. There are so many other civic activities for people to be in, so many of which that are not even political. I actually have something I want to show you that is an example of types of civic engagement. But basically, civic engagement can span from activism and advocacy, civic learning, which is just acquiring the knowledge of community, government, social issues, political issues. It can be community service and volunteering. It can be service learning, which is combining education and community service all together and making it reflective and making it. There's that. Then there's community engagement intern type of shit. There is philanthropy and fundraising, which is a form of civic engagement. There is political engagement, of course, as we know, and you want to get involved there. And then there is such thing as community engaged research. Now, that's one I really want to encourage more people to get into, because you can spend time collecting the data, because the data is important. Once statistics say over a long period of time this will happen, listen, people cannot dispute facts, and once we have the facts, we can get something done. So sitting there collecting data and doing research is important as well. And last but not least, which is one of the ones that I actually lean into the most, which is social entrepreneurship and social innovation, right? And so, but here's the thing. When we think about civic engagement, have you ever wondered how our actions today can truly make a difference that lasts generations? Not like just for the moment, not a short term, but generations, or how our acts of service can restore the selflessness that civic duty really demands, right? Selflessness. And I want you to buckle in, because we're about to uncover these hidden treasures. I got three distinct paradigms I want to shift through, and that is the first, immediate impact versus lasting legacy, selfless over self-interest, and then planting seeds of change. Let's unpack what immediate impact is. So when we start the discussion right there, while it is satisfying, right? Satisfying, it oftentimes fades away, but immediate action is important. So here are some of the things that I would consider immediate action. So number one, community cleanups, right? Number two, right, community cleanups. We're going about doing an event where residents come together, they pick up litter, they clean up public spaces, they beautify their surroundings. It provides an immediate visual improvement, cleaner streets, public areas that create a sense of pride and well-being in the community. Another thing is emergency relief and assistance, right? That's a way to get civically engaged and have immediate results. But we're talking about civics that's non-political and selfless. So we really want to lean towards the legacy stuff. But I want to show you what the immediate things are, and so we can understand what the legacy things are. Emergency relief and assistance. We already understand when there is a natural disaster, when there is some type of accident or some type of crisis, people can showcase civic engagement. You don't have to wait for the government. What is the government? What the politicians going to do? Where you at? No, the people come together will begin to provide food, shelter, medical aid, emotional support for those individuals who are affected by the crisis, and give them all the things that they need to make a tangible difference in their lives right there in the midst of them going through a time of distress. Immediate impact, and that is very necessary. Another thing that I think has immediate impact to a certain degree, is voting. Like, especially when we're voting for people and they're going to be able to occupy the seat for 2 years. Right, you voted them in, and then you'll be able to see them what they can do in 2 years. Not to say in that 2 years they could possibly do things that last a long time, but ultimately the initial tangible experience of that action, that vote, put this person in for a 2-year term, this person in for a 4-year term, and they may take a long time getting acclimated and all that. They may only be able to get to accomplish 1 or 2 big things, but your vote, you want to know who is the people who are going to be leading over you right then and right there, because they're making decisions about everyday affairs. They could make some long-term decisions, but ultimately it's a little bit of an immediate impact. When I say immediate as in short term, a little bit different from a lasting impact, which actually leads me into my next topic, which is selflessness over self-interest. So, okay, now listen, when we engage in civic activities, as if we're planting seeds, we're cultivating a future where fruits of our labor benefit countless generations. And that's a little bit of difference. As I look around the political landscape, I listen to conversations, I'm chiming in on what people are talking about. It seems like a lot of times people are kind of lobbying for their own causes. If I'm not mistaken, they're just kind of trying to make sure they get their needs met. And that's a little bit different. You seem like you're civically engaged, but really, I mean, you are, but it's not the true spirit of civic duty. Think about something like volunteering for a community project. Matter of fact, let's think about, before we even go there, let's talk about standing in solidarity. Okay, when you stand in solidarity with a group of people, this is an issue that is not affecting me, nor is it affecting my people, my homeland, none of that. It's just it's just something that's affecting people. And as a citizen and as a human, I am concerned for the issues that social issues, political, whatever root causes that are affecting people. I'm concerned about people and I'm standing in solidarity. And yes, this group of people talking about it by themselves can make a difference. But if I'm talking about it, if I am a whole nother person from a whole nother community and I stand in solidarity, now we are increased in numbers. And if this many people and public opinion, like if this many people care about it, then at that point it can persuade public behavior and all that kind of stuff, and even public policy eventually. But ultimately, standing in solidarity is a selfless thing. We want to look at being selfless over self-interest. I see a lot of self-interest going on out here, and that's what people think about when they think politics. I mean, it's people trying to get their own selfish needs and their own selfish gains met, and to a degree that may or may not be true. But this is why I want to encourage people: you don't have to be political to be a civic, to be civically engaged. Right? You don't have to be super deep off into that, but that doesn't mean that you can't stand in solidarity with causes. That does not mean that you cannot get involved in projects that last well beyond you, which leads me into the third, which is planting seeds of change for the future. So when we think about seeds that are transformative in nature, it's all about shifting our perspective and embracing actions that might not yield instant results but promise a bountiful harvest. That is the crux of what we would say the American civil rights movement by Martin Luther King and others was about. Martin Luther King said, I had a dream, and some of the stuff he was dreaming about was not going to come to pass right then and there. Now they were marching, they were hitting the pavement to make sure certain things happen immediately and certain things happen in the near future. But there were some things that I can only dream about that I can't even see right now, but I'm actually doing this for that vision in the future. Now, I know a lot of you guys are already typically engaged, you're voting. I'm not trying to discourage you from all those things, but I want to encourage you every now and then. Make sure you get back to the root of what civic engagement really is all about, and that is service. Here's a way to do that. You can actually, I would say, you can promote environmental conservation. Okay, you can participate in tree planting. You can participate in habitat restoration. This house is gonna live way past me. We're gonna restore these houses, or this house, or these houses on this block, or these buildings, and this stuff is gonna stand long after I'm gone. It's something different about serving a group, not just your community, but a community that's gonna exist well beyond you. It's different. It's a different level of duty. It's a different level of humanity and compassion that you live out of when you do those types of things. Any type of sustainability project, I'm going to go back and make it plain with even tree planting. Is one thing to go do a community cleanup, that's immediate impact. It's another thing to say, hey, these people are experiencing all types of breathing problems. They're experiencing all type of the ecosystem around them is being affected. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over and plant some trees. And this stuff, I may not see this tree reach its full potential in my lifetime, but some point, like I said at the beginning of this video, if we look at civic engagement through the lens of this, somebody is sitting under a tree getting shade because someone is getting shade because somebody else planted a tree a long, long, long time ago. Now, you can even do other things like investing in the youth, because we say the children are our future, mentoring them and advocating for any type of sustainable policies. All those things are seeds that we can do to plant today that contributes to a legacy that echoes for generations. It's selfless. It has nothing to do with you, your personal community, your personal, your ethnicity, your age, your gender, none of that, your sexual rights, none of that matters. Like, this is, sometimes I'm doing stuff just for the sake of human sake, just for the sake of compassion, just for the sake of my love for life that's going to even exist beyond me. That's true civic duty to me. Now, guess what? I talk like this all the time, and I actually have live streams once a month that are private to my Patreon community. Shout out to the Patreon community, aka Team ShySpeaks. We delve into all these types of topics a lot of times, and we go even in on other things. So if you have not already, you didn't know I had it, go check out my Patreon, ShySpeaks. You can join Team ShySpeaks today, and we can hop on and have a private conversation. But listen, as we wrap up this video, right, and we wrap up this journey through rethinking civic engagement, remember that every act of service that you perform today really is a seed. Some people say, well, you said something about voting, and let me go back and correct her. You don't have to correct me. I understand, because some people in 2 years can do a lifetime worth of damage. So I'm not taking away from that, but I'm talking about your action. Oftentimes is, I want to see this person in office. That's you trying to see your friend in office. It's still a little self-interest. Or you're trying to get this person in office for the next 4 years because they said they're going to do this for your nonprofit, your union, your PAC, and all that kind of stuff. There's still a lot of that that's going on. I'm trying to talk about moving beyond anything that will serve you right now in this lifetime and do something that is a seed towards a future built out of compassion, done out of unity, done out of selflessness. Listen, if this new perspective resonates with you, I want to encourage you actually to like this video. I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel, because I have more community-minded things coming where this came from. I'm really passionate and have a true burden to help people understand the difference between civics and politics. Yeah, and at the end of the day, I want us to nurture a legacy that shines brightly for generations to come. Again, get ready to embrace the power of planting seeds. If you listen to this video all the way to this point, I want you to understand that if you go do something that is any type of sustainability, like, am I doing things? Am I civically engaged in stuff that's just rah, rah, rah for right now? And maybe it may impact things over the next couple of years. Not saying it doesn't matter. Or am I doing something that's going to last well beyond me? Well, listen, at the end of the day, your journey starts right now. You have to do something today to have a lasting legacy. And without further ado, I'll see you in the next one.
Listen, ShySpeaks, 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 ShySpeaks.